Welcome to another webinar today. I'm your host, Wesley Smith with treeservicedigital.com. And today we're going to be going over a really important topic. It is how to double your business by stacking your marketing. And we go through this a lot on our training. Sometimes we're doing just a bite-sized chunk of your digital marketing with your Google Maps, your local service ads, your website, your email marketing, text marketing, automations, whatever that is, the piece by piece. But today we're going to go over kind of the whole overview of why you need to be doing multi-channel marketing to really grow your business so that more people see it on a consistent basis. So thanks for joining today. I see a number of folks already on. Thanks for being here. And what I'm going to do now is share my screen so you guys can see what's going on here with the slides. And it should be showing now. Zoom has a nice little feature now where I can see exactly what's being shared on the screen. Before, I couldn't tell if it was in the background or not. Sometimes it would be a window of something else. But thanks for joining today. This is how to double your business by stacking your marketing. And who am I? And why should you listen to me? If this is the first time you've been on one of our webinars or seen our podcast or whatnot, I've been in the internet marketing space for over 13 years now. I'm the author of the Accelerated Growth Roadmap for tree service companies. And our newest book, or actually the second book, the oldest book was How to Win with Internet Marketing for Tree Service Contractors. We specialize in tree service and arborist digital marketing, expert web development and digital marketing team in-house. We've worked with over 150 tree service companies across the United States, probably more by now, and know what works to increase visibility and grow overall business. We're also members of TCIA, like a lot of you guys. We probably saw you in November if you were at the expo. It's always a fun time. And we serve dozens and dozens and dozens of tree service companies across the United States and Canada currently. Some of our clients here. If you want to see our testimonials, you can just hop over to our website after the webinar or anytime, treeservicedigital.com, and we have a testimonials page. And then those have videos on it of clients speaking about their experience with Tree Service Digital. And then we also have written testimonials on another page as well. This is all we do all day, every day. Tree service digital marketing, arborist digital marketing. We also help with some offline marketing too, direct mail, things like that, because a lot of people wanted to do it and we decided we were going to offer it just to make sure we can add that value to our client base. So again, we'll get right into it. How to double your business by stacking your marketing. So first, let's look at your marketing strategy that will consist of this marketing stacking that we're talking about here. So this is our accelerated growth model. And basically what it boils down to, just in very simplicity, is you want to attract customers first, right? And you do that with marketing and advertising. Some of that's offline, like direct mail, signs, truck wraps, billboards, door hangers, whatever, business cards, those types of things. And then you also could do some paid advertising where people, come in because you're paying for those ads, you're paying for those spots on the top of the search engines. And then you've got online search where your website just shows up because you've got a lot of great content on your website. People visit your website, they stay on your website, they like what they see. And then you've also got good ratings, good reviews on your Google profile, your Facebook page, things like that. That's going to really attract a lot of local customers to you. Then you want to convert them. So there needs to be mechanisms in place to convert those people that see you, but they need to see you over and over and over again, in most cases, unless it's a referral, to give you a call and to trust that you're going to do the right thing and take care of them, right? As a tree service company, because everybody knows contractors that didn't do what they say they were going to do and stuff like that. So the more ratings, more reviews you got, and then the better your website is, more professional, the more you follow up, the more they see you, the higher chance it is they're going to call you over the competition. Then once we get those customers or those leads in, they come in through the website, they give you guys a call. Then you want to maximize your revenue from all of those people that come through. And you do this by kind of marketing to those people over and over again down the road with email marketing, text marketing, things like that. And then also offer incentives to refer your company to other people in the neighborhood or their friends and family, things like that. So, and then you want to track everything that you do. So where do you need to focus the most? We'll get into the digital dominance method now. And this is kind of our wheel here, wheel of fortune, right? This is kind of everything you need to be doing in order to get the most visibility and the most leads in your local market from people online and offline. So you got your foundation, your website, Google presence, your SEO, ratings and reviews, reputation online. Then you've got your paid ads, which are, Google ads, Nextdoor ads, Bing, Yahoo ads, Facebook ads, a lot of different mediums to do paid ads on. Retargeting, where people see you over and over again. A very good strategy, very inexpensive strategy. So people see you 100 times, a month maybe, or every quarter. They just see you over and over and over again. You've got paid online directories. Some of these are things that are outside of what we or any digital agency would do, like Yelp, Angie, Thumbtack, or something like that. You can get leads from those places. You can get repeat and referral business from your existing customer database by sending emails and text messages to your past customers. There's also pay per lead services. There's social media advertising you can do, referral program, kind of similar to number 5 there. And then direct mail, number 9, is also offline, but you can saturate zip codes and target areas that you really want to cover a lot better, because it's not, you're doing more of a targeted approach in that type of method of marketing. So this is kind of what we call the digital dominance method, and there's one offline one there with the direct mail. But first, is your website set up to convert visitors that visit your website or see your business to callers? This is essentially your storefront in today's digital world. So you want your website to be good, clear, visible logo, branded trucks, shirts, shop, whatever on the header photo. Good click to call phone number here. And then request a free estimate button, get a, contact us button, things like that, where people know they can get in touch with you. They've also got an emergency tree service authorization form on their website, but just really professional looking, good looking website, so they can trust that you're going to do the right thing since you've invested nicely in your website. It looks good. Your website is the hub. It's kind of the point to make here. Everybody's going to visit your website at some point, because what happens is when they hear about you, they see you, people are going to go right to the search engine and they're going to type in XYZ tree service, whatever your business name is. Let me go see what I can find about this tree service company. So they look you up, they look at your reviews, they're going to look at your Facebook page sometimes. They're going to end up on your website, though, from all these other places. There's usually a clickable link over to your website. They're going to always end up there. So you want it to be nice. You want it to be professional and easily navigatable when they get there, clickable, all that stuff. Why is conversion so important? Well, here's a couple of different examples of somebody who gets 100 leads, just a flat, even number, so we can do the math here. If this particular example here gets 30% conversion rate out of 100 leads, there's not really any follow-up. They only get first-time leads coming in all the time. Maybe they book 30 jobs, and then they get 30 book jobs out of 100 leads. That's 30% conversion rate, right? If their average ticket's around 1150, well, then that equals about 34,500 in revenue from those leads, right? But look over here. If you get the same amount of leads, but you convert double that, 70%, over double, because you have automated follow-up, you guys are really good on the phone, you get back with every lead, or you answer live, which is preferable, then you're booking 70% of those leads. Average ticket's the same, 1150. But now you've booked 70 jobs and collected 80,000 in revenue as opposed to 34,000. So you over double your revenue just by being good at answering the phone, converting, scheduling those appointments, getting out and selling the work, right? So how do we optimize for conversion? How do we make our website good enough to where people do call us over somebody else? This is just a lot of little points here, but these are 12 elements. Like, speak to your target customer. What are their fears and frustrations? Why should they choose you? Be real, have authentic images of you and your team on the website. Use the video and multimedia elements to engage different people's personalities, right? Have videos about you, like showing them how you're doing tree work and things like that. People like to see that. Maybe a welcome video to the website, videos for each one of your services on those service pages, and a video explaining why someone should contact you versus the competition. Leverage social proof, your online reviews, why to hire you. Get the basics in order, like the phone number is very visible on the right-hand corner of the website. Ensure that there's a web form customers can fill out. Add credibility with authority symbols like the BBB or Angie's List or Home Advisor reviews, or whatever the case may be. Make sure they know to call you. TCIA, ISA logos. Ensure you have clear calls to action on each page that speak to your customer avatar. Avatar just means like your customer profile, like who are they normally, like that type of person. And just tell them what to do next. Give us a call. Fill this out for a free estimate, that type of thing. Use special offers and coupons, different types of times of the year maybe. Make sure your website is mobile optimized with an easy click to call function. Leverage live chat on your website. Start giving clients the option to book online. If you have a calendar, let them just go ahead and book that appointment. Sometimes I don't even want to talk. They just want you out there. And website speed matters. Make sure it doesn't just spin and spin and spin when somebody clicks on your website. If that's the case, you're probably losing a lot of business because people get bored really fast and they just bounce off your website, go to the competition's website. Engage via SMS and phone marketing as well. People like to just chat sometimes and text. But just another example of a website. Good colors, showcasing your business, your trucks, maybe doing a job out in the field, big phone number, request a free estimate, that type of thing. Just make sure it looks nice, right? And professional. Be real and authentic. So this is another example of that. Put you guys' faces on the website. People want to know who they're doing business with. And sometimes, people don't want to. They want to hide behind the business and not put their name and their face on there. And I get it, but it really, really helps convert more of those people that perhaps are on the fence or they're not sure who they're going to be calling. They're like, oh, okay, this is the guy that owns the company. Okay, even if that guy's not the one that comes out to the house to give the estimate, they still just kind of want to know who the owner is or who the business personnel are, with that company. If you get any good videos that have like been on the news or you guys did some charity work or something, those are always great. Good feel good stories on the website. Always helps people give you a call. And then showcase social proof. This is just a snapshot of one of our clients' testimonial pages. So we use a review tool that also has this nice little embeddable widget on the customer website that showcases all of their reviews that they've gotten over the past, however many months. And it just puts them on there. And that way people can read them. They can drink from the fire hose and say, hey, this is a great company here, and they can feel good about it. And, get the fundamentals right. This is kind of the desktop version, kind of a similar as the other ones, right? Branded trucks, the colors are coordinated, the logo, big clickable phone number. Here is I'll get my box out of the way there. Here's the mobile version. So you want it to look really similar, right? Have the same picture, request a free estimate. The menu, they can click on that, expand it, open up the other pages, go read the About Us page, go read the testimonials page, that type of thing. So is your website mobile friendly and responsive? In today's day and age, it's just so important because, again, kind of going back to what we were talking about a minute ago, people just bounce off. If it's not a good user experience and they click on your website and they can't really get to where they want, they can't find the phone number, they can't find a contact form, they can't scroll around. It just gives them that ability to just say, you know what, I'm just going to go to the next website. And they just bounce off, right? And you don't want that. You want people to convert. So, there's probably close to 5 billion people now on mobile phones, probably more. 3 out of 5 consumers search for local businesses on their smartphone because they don't know a tree service company. Or maybe their neighbor they haven't used one in so long, they don't know. So they're going to go searching online. That's when it's really good to have great ratings, lots of reviews. That's going to make their decision final to give you a call. Google reports that 40% of mobile consumers turn to a competitor's website after a bad mobile web experience. So that's not something you want, right? You want them to call you when they get on your website. So what are the takeaways? Did you learn anything about, what your website needs to have to convert more? We're stacking the marketing here. We're going to show you other mediums, and that way you kind of know what it takes to like really get lots and lots of visibility in the local area. If you guys have any questions, feel free to post them. We have a Q&A box here. I think there's a chat and then also a question and answer box. There should be, let's see. Yeah, there's a Q&A box too. So if you got any questions, pop them in there. When I take a break, I'll answer it for you. Does your website come up in search? Get your branding right for your business, right? So when somebody types in your business name after they see you, like we showed in that previous slide, from a billboard, from radio, from social media, from your Google business profile, and they want to go Google search you, right? Do you show up at the top? We have a lot of customers that the name of their business on the Google page is inconsistent with what's on the website or what's on the Facebook page. So they don't even come up when somebody types in their business name. So you just want to make sure everything's consistent and you show up when somebody searches your business name, right? So there can be disadvantages to having a very common business name because sometimes people will type in XYZ tree service and there's like 100 of them across the United States. So yours might not be the one that pops up. Now, Google typically knows where that person's doing the search, so they're going to likely show you the local, the closest one with that same business name, but you never know. We've seen it happen before where people are showing up, all the way across the country for stuff like that and getting phone calls for people searching that business name. So just make sure, a unique business name is good. You probably already have one established. So we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. But as long as you show up when somebody types in your business name, that's good. That's what you want. And then you may be asking yourself, like, does SEO still matter? It really does. Like 65% of the clicks when people do a search, this is on the traditional Google search page. AI is a little different. We'll show that too in a minute. But people are still really going to Google because they're trained to do that. They're going to be trained to do that for a decade, probably or more coming up. I mean, some of the AI platforms, you get the answer you want, sometimes you don't. So people are still gravitating towards the traditional tried and true Google searches, Bing, Yahoo searches, things like that. So when you go here, especially for local business, local home services, other things they're good for because you get a longer response and things like that, longer answer. But for somebody just looking up a plumber or a tree service or HVAC, they're going to just go to Google typically. So this is 65% of all the clicks are at the organic section in the maps and then the website below the maps. So these are non-paid ad results. So yes, you still want to be showing up in the maps with the most reviews, which the most reviews a lot of times will kind of put you in the top of the Google Maps locally, and then your website below that, so people have the chance to click on you there. So yes, SEO does still matter, and you don't want to just rely on pay-per-click alone, right? Sometimes with pay-per-click, more people come and go in the market, but if you're super glued to the top with your Google Maps because you got the most reviews and your website showing up really good with content, then you don't sometimes even have to run ads because you're getting so many calls coming in from the organic side. So this is just an example, like if this particular client got 89 leads from their website, Google Maps, and all that stuff. So that's considered their search engine optimization. And that came in, they were paying roughly $1,600 a month for that. And the average cost per lead was around $17.97, so $18 a lead, right? You can see how many searches, how many calls, web forms, Google Maps calls, and all of that. So it can typically be, once you get to the top, the cheapest per lead source you can get. And a lot of times it's the highest converting as well, because people have already made their mind up. They want to give you a call. So a live example, right? Like somebody types in tree service Birmingham, Alabama, or anywhere across the country. This is an example of somebody who's absolutely boat racing the competition. Ace Tree Service, you can see, has 1,200 Google reviews. The next guy's got 98, right? They have got literally 12 to 15x more reviews than the next competitor on that maps section right there. And there's probably a few more that show up here and there for different various types of searches. Maybe have 200 reviews, 400 reviews, but they're still absolutely duffing everybody else. And you can see that right there, 1,200 reviews. So just get those reviews. That really helps on the maps. Is your website properly optimized so that it can have that chance to be on the first page where you get those leads? So there's title tags on each page of your website that you want to make sure you put in the right keywords, like tree service your city, tree trimming, tree removal, land clearing, things like that. So people know when they go do a search, Google knows where to put your website page for that particular service. There's H1 headers, which are just the paragraph headers, the big bold, text headers. Those need to have the keyword in it. H2, H3, same difference there. Want the keyword headers in those. And you want the images that are on your website pages to have this little code in there called alt text. And what that does is it further tells Google what that page is about. So it really helps with your SEO. And then you want helpful content, not just content written for search engines. You want helpful, readable, relatable type content on the website. You don't want to just keyword stuff it anymore. It's getting a lot better, the content. Google's starting to rank those websites a lot higher. Are you building backlinks and authority to your website? So do other websites have clickable links over to your website? That's all this web development and the website business game is. A lot of times is just how many other websites are linking with clickable links over to your website. Like, they're reading an article about something and it'll say something like, well, for the best tree service in Birmingham, Alabama, click here. And that clickable link goes over to your website. You can accomplish that with like a press release of something that you've done with your company. Digital marketing agencies know how to pull these off in most cases, some better than others, but backlinks definitely help your ranking factors. Next is, are you showing up in ChatGPT, Gemini, and other AI search platforms? So a lot of times what they're looking for is your content. Are you answering questions on your website that people have that are searching online? Like when is the best time to trim a tree in Denver, Colorado, for example, right? Or what's the average price to remove a tree in Atlanta, Georgia, right? Like those types of questions people are asking. And you can find those right on the Google search page, the suggested searches. And then you can just write an article about each one of those suggested searches to answer questions. You'll start showing up in these things. I mean, we have this AI and SEO thing kind of dialed in at this point where you just want to show up for things people are asking questions about, and that just puts your website and your content more at the forefront for those types of things. So for Google Maps, you want the most reviews, and then that also gets kind of repurposed on ChatGPT, Gemini. You want the best rating. So like 4.9, 5 stars, for example. 4.8 is good too. 4.7 is good. As long as you're kind of up there in the top with most of the other companies and you're getting the most reviews, like the quantity is very important, consistency. So getting a couple a week, 10 a week, 3 a week, whatever, just continue to stagger those reviews out. There's a lot of tools to help you do that if you have a customer database too. You can run them through a tool like that. And it can just stagger out review requests. Really helpful on the maps and in the AI tools. So some people, may search something like, "Hey, what are the best tree service company in your city?" Right? Well, what they're typically going to show in those Chat GPT and other platforms are they're going to show like a map, and it's going to show like the top rated ones from the Google Maps. So they're actually pulling that data from the Google search platform, right? So you're still, by showing up in Google and Bing and Yahoo and things like that, that's still going to carry over to the AI platforms because AI platforms aren't producing any content. All they're really doing is showing content and answers from other platforms, right? At this point. So takeaway, it's like, what did you learn about that from SEO? What did you notice? Is there anything you'd like to share, or do you have any questions? If not, perfectly fine. Yeah, you notice that your website having personal information like a picture of yourself and the work you're doing and have done, video testimonials, reviews, reforming the site to match mobile does help. Is there something more that you think we can add to the site, or do you think having too much hurts, or that when people come to your site, they're mostly already ready to move forward? I think you're right on track there. If you've got pictures of you guys and your team and your crew and your trucks, like a lot of branded images, that's a trust factor that people like to see. So I think just getting more and more reviews on your Google profile, showing those testimonials and reviews on your website in certain sections are great. I don't think too much hurts. I mean, you just don't want a lot of content that just doesn't make sense if somebody reads it. You know what I mean? Like just to put paragraphs in there, just to be putting paragraphs in there, like of content. Make sure it kind of makes sense and it kind of has like some sort of direction it takes them, about the services they want to offer. Or, hey, if you want to find out more, just click on this link right here, contact us, and we'll be happy to come out to your site, give you a free estimate. So I think you're on the right track there. Testimonials are great. And yeah, personality helps because then they know who they're going to be doing business with. So great question. Are you ranking on the Google map? That's kind of the next thing here. And we kind of went through this with the organic and the SEO. But if somebody types in tree removal, your city, right? For example, are you number one showing up at the top? This is one of our clients at the very top. They've got, good ratings, good reviews. They've got more reviews now, over 100 for sure, but high rating and all of that. So they show up there. So they get the benefit of the doubt. They get those calls, right? When somebody's doing a search. So do Google Maps matter? Yes, they do. So usually about 40 to 50% of all calls on that first page go to the maps. And then, like we showed on that previous slide, some people still click on the website links below the maps. But a lot of times people click on these map listings because they feel like it's the most local result. So, like, oh, this tree company must be like pretty close by. So I'm just going to give them a call. And it's not an ad. Some people prefer to call ads because they're at the very top of the page and they don't want to think any harder. Other people would rather kind of dig in a little bit, look at the maps, and then make a few calls, right? And so that's what they do here. And that's why people do that because they don't want to click on an ad sometimes. So you want to be in both places. Yes, Google Maps matter. Here's a couple of example snapshots from last year from a couple of client Google Maps listings from over the summer. So this client got 71 phone calls to their map listing in one 30-day period. This is 1 month. That's a lot of calls, 71. Now, some of those are branded where they typed in and searched for that business name, that tree service business. but a good three-quarters of those are new leads coming in. And then another 54 visited the website, which, they click on the website, then they convert after that. So that's 71 plus 54. I mean, I don't think all these people that visited the website probably called, but probably half of them did or filled out a form or something like that. Another client got 60 phone calls, 66 website visitors. So lots and lots of leads when you get your Google Map listing up to the top. And you can see these insights inside your Google business profile. If you go to the settings, it usually will show this. They were supposed to be phasing this out, but I think I saw it last time I went in there still. So this is kind of the proven formula for getting ranked in the maps, which is part of the marketing stack you want to be doing, right? So this is one of our clients, just kind of showing you like 4.9 star, 222 reviews. This company here, Arbor Tech, they had a massive customer database they've built over the decades. And we ran that customer database through a review automation tool. And they got literally 300 or 400 more five-star reviews in just a couple of months by doing that. And they are like plastered to the top of the first page in the maps, just killing it. So reviews are very, very important for your Google Maps. So just always focus on getting those reviews. I would say it'd be a good thing that you could do, like to focus your time on. And then you want to get listed in all these different. You want to get listed in these directories too. So there's like Yelp, Hot Pages, Super Pages, all these different directories online. Getting a listing inside there. Most of these are free. When you get a listing inside there, it just helps kind of expand your footprint on the internet. And that helps the search engines find you and then also want to get you at the top as well. And then on-page SEO is kind of what we were talking about earlier on the website, making sure your website's very dialed in with all the content on there, images, things like that. Next, are you taking advantage of paid marketing opportunities? So we've went through the website, Google Maps, SEO showing up organically. Now we're going to talk about the paid ads. This is the pay to play section. So if you can put a couple $1,000s of budget a month, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, you can spend a good bit of money on Google ads and different types of ad campaigns. But if you do that, this is another place that you're going to show up. This is a search for like tree removal near me, for example. And then the first set of results you're going to see are the Google local service ads. These used to kind of be called the Google guaranteed, but they did away with the guaranteed section. So now it's just local service ads. And now typically what it says is just verified right here. That means they've been through the background check and they're verified companies. But you want to be here. This is the very top result. This is like a digital billboard in your local market. So here's some of the other paid ad platforms like Google ads, Bing Yahoo ads, Facebook ads, Nextdoor ads. These are places you want to be if you really want to show up everywhere, because a certain percentage of the local population is going to be on every one of these platforms. Some of them are on looking at Google local service ads, right? They just click the top result. That's it. Other people want to dig a little bit, find the Google ads. Other people are on Bing and Yahoo. We've had a couple of clients in different markets across the country, a lot of times like the older demographic where they started using Yahoo search before Google got as big as it is now, and they're still on there, right? So they're still on there. And so Bing and Yahoo ads, since they're the same search platform, they produce pretty good results. So you kind of want to be everywhere. Nextdoor is gaining a lot of popularity. Facebook, we all know, is huge. Can Google ads and PPC really drive return on investment? Well, here's an example here of a client that got 8x, 10x ROI for their business, right? So they got 80 leads. Conversion rate was about 40%, so about 4 out of 10 converted. So that turned into 32 booked jobs. The average ticket was about $1,200. So that's 38,000 in revenue. And so they spent about $4,700 on those 80 leads. So yeah, it's over an 8x ROI. So that's a pretty good, ROI. Now, seasonality plays a role. So some seasons, your ROI is not going to be as good as it was. And marketing is one of those things that you just have to kind of stay consistent with. Some months are going to be better than others. Some months you might double or triple your investment, which is not as good. Other months you might 10 or 20x your investment. So it's kind of a roller coaster. But quarter to quarter, it's generally pretty accurate and predictable. But month over month, it can vary a great deal, just based on travel or summer or spring break and stuff like that. So, but it does work really, really well. And here's why most pay-per-click campaigns fail if it didn't get good results. The company only set up maybe one ad group for all the services, right? So if you do tree service, tree trimming, tree pruning, tree removal, land clearing, forestry mulching. All those are slightly different services. So you want an ad that speaks to what they typed in. So if they typed in tree trimming near me, well, we want an ad that shows number one tree trimming service. Call now, right? Call now for a free estimate. You don't want to just have one blanket ad that covers all of them. You want one that mirrors what they typed in. That really helps for the conversion and getting a better click-through rate for your Google ads. And then you also want like a call to action on there, a very strong call to action. So that was the Google ads, local service ads. This is the local service ads again. This slide's just kind of a duplicate of the other one. It's the top results at the very top of the page. These are the local service ads. Very good for really getting the best bang for your buck at the top of the market up there, top of the search engine. So are you taking advantage of the paid online marketing channels? Google ads with a maxed out budget, Google local service ads, retargeting ads. So when somebody visits your website, are we showing them little digital ads on Facebook, Instagram, different places like that after they visit your website? There's a little pixel you can put on your website, and that will track them on social media. And then when they go there, they're going to see little ads about you too. That really helps. That's stacking your marketing. That way they see you over and over and over again. Are you running Google pay-per-click ads? Are you targeting specific ad groups, text, and landing pages to get better results in your Google ads? Do you have conversion tracking in place to make sure you know where your leads are coming from? Are you running targeted Facebook ads to your ideal prospects? Do you have a premium ad on Angie, Yelp? Some of these places, everybody's got a different opinion about. Oh, this one worked really good for us, and it didn't. This other one did not work good for us. So if you test some ones out there, you'll kind of know this isn't a blanket statement that you have to do Angie's List ads or Thumbtack or anything like that. It's just if you test them, some people get good results. Most people don't because they're shared, in the community with other people. But there's also pay per lead services and all that stuff too. So what did you learn? What did you notice? Let's see if we got a couple more questions here. Based on my experience, what will be the best platform to pay campaigns? It really depends on the market. We usually test them all, but traditionally Google ads, Google local service ads are the best because with Google local service ads, if you've got the most reviews in your market and you got a 5-star rating on the maps or just a good rating, it could be 4.8, 4.7, 4.9, but just good, consistent reviews, that local service ad platform for paid ads is really usually the winner because you're only paying per call. You're not paying per click like on the Google ads. Now, the Google ads work too, but with the Google local service ads, it's pay per call or pay per lead. So generally people like that a little bit better, but that's really good. Facebook can work. Usually the motivation of the lead is not as high as it is on a search platform like Google because when they go search, they're actually looking to get that tree work done right away or pretty soon, get some quotes. On Facebook, they might just kind of put their toe in the water because they see your ad, right? They're not real sure if they want to pay for that right now. But when somebody goes to Google search or Bing or Yahoo or wherever, they're looking to usually get it done pretty quick. So hopefully that answers your question on that one. And next, are you active on social media, right? So this is stacking your marketing. Are you posting on social media actively so people can see you over and over and over again? And what we always recommend is just posting frequently as much as you can because people aren't going to see every one of your posts anyway. So you may as well just post every day if you can. If you have the kind of content, if you're taking pictures in the field, it's really good to do. So more repeat business, more referral business, people are going to see you over and over again. And this is just kind of like, there's so many billions of users. There's going to be plenty in your neck of the woods that are looking on Facebook and Instagram. So the more you post, the more people will see. Are you leveraging email marketing? So are you emailing customers that you've given estimates to in the past, that you've done text, that you've given a quote to or done work for? That really helps too, because they already know, like, and trust you. So it's a really good idea to send them email newsletters once a month, reminding them that you're there. Very good. There's a lot of tools you can use for that. Constant Contact, MailChimp, GetResponse, Aweber. We have our own little software that we use for all of our clients to send emails out to. All of them will get the job done as long as you set it up properly. So it's a good idea to send an email after every service call to request a review. That's a good time to do it. Send an email a few days after service, asking them to engage on your Facebook or Instagram page or social media, and send out a monthly email newsletter to remain top of mind and drive more repeat and referral business in your company. Next, are you leveraging text marketing? Now, texts are good too because Those are about 98% open rate, which is even better than email. Email is like 20 to 30% open rate. Some of them go to spam, some of them go to promotions, depending on what kind of email they use. So text marketing, though, on the other hand, that goes right to their inbox on their phone. And everybody's staring at their phone all the time in their text message area. So your text message will get seen more often too, because it just sits there until it gets buried down with too many texts, right? So people are going to see you more often. So good coupons about, maybe a good special coming up, or, 10% off tree trimming in March, start the spring off right, trimming your trees, here's a 10% coupon, that type of thing. So you can send a text after every time somebody submits a form on your website to remind them, hey, give us a call, schedule your appointment. Send a text a few days after service asking them to engage on social media. Send a text message asking for 5-star review after they've paid their invoice to build up your reviews. This is a game changer. When you start texting people and emailing people to give you a 5-star review after they've paid an invoice, you're going to start getting consistent reviews because now that process is automated. So every time somebody pays an invoice in QuickBooks or Jobber or any CRM, you can have them enroll into a sequence where it asks them to give you a quick 5-star review. And it's just a numbers game. So if you send out 100 customers that, like 20 or 30 of them will end up giving you a 5-star review. And if you get 20 or 30 reviews every month, think about it. I mean, after a year, that's like 300 reviews. That's a lot, And if you do that for years and years, you're just going to boat race everybody in your market. So that's a good idea to do that. Are you leveraging direct mail? This is another one that you can get into everybody's mailbox instead of inbox on email or text inbox. You're actually in their mailbox, and they got to see you whether they want tree service or not. But after they see you over and over and over again, you're stacking your marketing, right? This is another marketing channel you're doing. They're going to see you live in person. And a lot of times people put these things on their desk or they'll save it for later, and you'll get a call 6 months later. Oh, I still got your postcard or your flyer that you sent out. Can you guys still come out and give me a quote? Sure, we'll be out there tomorrow. This is just another avenue to get more phone calls. And so the more of this you do, the better off you're going to be. Are you leveraging yard signs? Again, another impression, another visibility thing where people are going to see you. So yard signs with your logo, tree service, what kind of services you do, maybe a big phone number where they can't miss it, maybe even a QR code where they can scan it to go to your website. That's always a good idea too. Put them on every yard that you do a job in. Have a clearly read phone number so people can see it. You don't want them to have to hunt for it, right? And then tree service, that's what they do. You do tree service. Make sure it's loud and clear. We see sometimes where people will put arborist, on the sign or something or on the truck, and there's no tree service quote, phrase on there where people know exactly what they do. Some people just are oblivious to what an arborist is. So let's have tree service on there, tree care, something like that. That way they know exactly what you do. So very, very important. This is when consumers see you everywhere, hence the name stacking your marketing. This is how you grow your business when people see you all over the place every week, every month, every quarter. They just keep seeing you over and over and over again. You're at the top of Google on local service ads. You're on the Google pay-per-click ads. They're getting your emails and text messages. They see you on Bing and Yahoo and they go search there. They find your website and you're on Google Maps with 5-star reviews. They see you on Nextdoor when they log in there. They got a local Nextdoor page. They see you on Facebook ads. They see your signs out there. They see your trucks with your logo and your signage on there. So when they see you all over the place like this, your marketing is being stacked in all different areas and people just constantly see XYZ tree service, XYZ tree service, whatever your business name is. And they just know that's who we're going to call whenever we need it. Because when they think of tree service, all of a sudden they're going to remember that company they've seen 100, 200 times, right? It's one of those things like if they've only dealt with you, maybe like you did some work for them, maybe like 3 years ago, and now they got a tree service need again. Have they seen you so many times they know exactly who to call? And that's really the game changer. That's really how you get that momentum. It's kind of like compound interest. Every year it grows more and more and more until eventually that slope and that incline is a lot sharper because it just keeps building momentum and momentum, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You've touched more and more and more people. People have seen you more and more and more and more. They're getting your emails, they're getting your text messages, they're seeing you on social media. So all that really builds up to high visibility. So when consumers see you everywhere and they see you weekly, it increases the chance that they will call you over the competition. People need to see you and your brand 10 to 15 times a lot of times just before they call, right? Stacking your marketing achieves that quicker by being everywhere all the time. And here's why. Trust is lower these days. Sometimes people don't know who to trust. So they need to see you a lot. They need to see different versions of your online stuff or your offline, signs and trucks. So compile reviews online to convince customers to give you a call. A multi-channel marketing program is best for achieving quicker growth and notoriety in your local area. That visibility just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger every month, every quarter, every year, the more of these marketing channels that you put and implement in place. Some work better than others now, but over the long run, they're all going to pay dividends if you keep at it. You know, so you got to think long term with your marketing and branding. That's how people are going to remember you to keep calling you. So this is the accelerated growth model. Just to recap from the beginning, right? You want to attract the customers with all these different marketing channels, stacking your marketing, getting them all to call you. Then you want to convert them, right? With reviews, reputation, your website, social media, and following up. And then you want to maximize, get them to call you again for another appointment 6 months down the road, a year down the road. And the more of this stuff you do, the faster you'll grow your company. So how are you doing? This is our internet marketing checklist for tree service companies. Welcome to download that. If you go to our website, we'll send you a free copy. We just need your email address so we can email it over to you. But it's got everything kind of we talked about today that you need to be doing with your multi-channel marketing to really get the best results. And that's kind of a quick little cheat sheet. And what are your top action items that you want to put into place for today? Maybe just write them down. Like, is there a couple things that you need to work on? A couple things you might need to do to get more channels of marketing in place? Because we see this all the time. It literally helps our clients grow. We got lots of testimonials on our website and case studies if you want to check that page out too at treeservicedigital.com, where we kind of go through the journey of what they've done over the last year, 2, 3 years to really grow their business and get that visibility that they've been dreaming of. It's really just about doing multiple things at once. Local service ads is our winner, but we are maximizing it. We are looking other places to expand. Well, great. That's awesome. Looks like Nialdus. So yeah, thanks for the question. Local service ads are awesome. I would say try every door direct mail flyers, maybe. In the zip codes that you want to target. Those are always great too. Because you can target specific neighborhoods, income, just different areas that they're going to want tree work. So those are always a good one too. And make sure you put those signs out. Make sure your trucks speak to what you do, because people are going to see those on the road every day too. So yeah, we got a testimonials page, just like we talked about at the beginning. If you guys want to see and read some of those, we're here to help to implement this type of program, multi-channel marketing, digital dominance type program. So if we can help you, just let us know. Go to the website treeservicedigital.com, and we're happy to schedule a time to go over a free online marketing plan review of your business and kind of the competition, kind of where you stack up there. And we'll show you exactly a roadmap on how to get there and what to implement. So let's talk. If you guys have any questions, give our office a call. It's 770-637-3707. That's our main number. Or again, you can just simply go to the website and put your information in the schedule a consultation box or the contact form on the contact page, and we will be happy to reach out and let you know how we can help. All right. Hope everybody has a great day. And thanks so much for joining us and spending some time with us today. And make it a great Friday and have a great weekend. Let us know if we can help. Thanks so much.